Sorry I'm late. I was watching Reading Animorphs on TikTok. They're doing the Animorphs TV show now.
Hi, I'm Austin, and this is Late Starters. What's your favorite episode of the Animorphs TV show?
Last one.
Yeah.
Because it
Is it
ended
because they didn't make any more after that?
No, it's because Marco and Axe dance together. Duh.
Ash Murderfer.
And Axe
You
wears
didn't-
that ridiculous suit.
The blue
With the ruffles.
suit with the ruffles.
He had chips? I don't remember that. Do you all still love me?
You're really putting me on the spot.
Wait, why?
Do you or not?
Do you love
Quick,
me?
switch to the recap. Okay, so me and Calynn followed the Growlithe out of town and then immediately found Prescott all off camera, and it was really cool and really easy. And no, that didn't happen. Man, that would have been a funny bit though, wouldn't it? We protected the Growlithe from a Fearow, and then Victor's date with Becca was going on during all this, and it was really cool. And I'm not going to tell you what Spoon said happened because you're not supposed to kiss and tell. Oh no, they kissed and I just told. Oops. But anyway, they had like good conversation afterwards, and they promised to stay in contact. And then Victor was really happy afterwards. And that was super, good for Victor. Like, I'm really happy for him. And then me and Calynn, however, we back to the action. We were looking for clues, and we found a backpack, and it had a lanyard and a map. And Growlithe pointed on the map to where an entrance was on Mount Moon, so we were gonna go inside.
I think we should just drop in mid-conversation about whether or not we love Austin and not let him start the game yet.
Oh,
Just
no.
cut to that after
We
the
never
recap.
answered it.
We can never play again.
Not until you know.
Because you're not sure if we love you? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Wait.
They don't love
I
you.
don't love
Like
you.
I love you.
I know you guys love me. I was just kidding. The night is silent. A star shoots across the sky. And Victor, who has just finished his first date with Becca, has been teleported through the psychic weave by Spoons to stand in front of Ford and Victor and their respective Pokemon. Spoons brings you here. You see Aaron, you see Posey, you see the Calynn crew led by Chonks. Oh, okay. Chonks, Pidge, Pichu, Scyther, Cubone, and Growlithe. And I would never forget. I don't have to look for this Pokemon even at all. I would never forget the baby lady. Nobody will ever know how many times I clicked. Victor, that felt different than any of the other times you all have been teleported by Spoons. It was pretty far, and you start to feel a little bit nauseous. It takes a moment for you to fully recover. But as you do, you see Spoons blink his eyes at you and shake his head. Bruh?
Okay. Hi, everyone.
What up? Hey, how'd you get here?
Said Spoons did a big teleport. What's Growlithe? What is this?
No,
Growlithe?
hang on. There's like 4 things that are important here, but I think top of the list is the date.
Yeah, it was a date. It was really So, if you had a dictionary and you looked up the term perfect date, that's pretty much what it was. It was, oh my gosh, it was good. It was good. Maybe have a girlfriend now? I don't know. Oh man, this is weird. Yeah. So what's with the Growlithe?
Calynn is like fully staring up at you, like head in her hands, giant like heart eyes listening to this, like, oh my god. No, we'll get to the Growlithe in a second. Go tell me more. What did you do? Where did you go?
I can't. It's against the code, right? You can't
What
tell
code?
everybody about the date that you went on.
Ford, is that a rule?
So Ford has been like picking up pieces of dirt off the ground and like holding it up in the wind and like analyzing everything that's going on. And then he just at this moment chooses to turn to Victor and Calynn and say, "The Growlithe. It's missing its owner. Abducted by aliens. They don't have owners. Trainer, that's the word I was looking for. Trainer, abducted by aliens." And then goes back to doing like FBI looking stuff. Whatever he thinks an FBI looking stuff would be.
Okay, so reading between the lines, I think that means there's no code.
Nope. Can't talk about it. Super impolite.
This is the worst day of my life.
It's not polite to kiss and tell.
This is the worst day of my life.
Also Growlithe, aliens.
When you say kiss, Victor blushes deep red.
Ford notices that, looks up and goes, and then goes back to the FBIing.
Oh, look at the star across the sky. Ah,
No one gives a shit about the stars.
yeah, okay.
Aliens do.
Yeah. Wait, aliens? Okay, what? All right, for real, what's going on with this Growlithe? We can talk about my date later or never.
I vote later. Okay, so the Growlithe came with us. We went to the bar. We found the Growlithe. The Growlithe was like, no, I don't like you guys. I'm running away. And then so we followed the Growlithe from, like a distance that was somewhat nice. And then eventually the Growlithe got attacked. And then we helped the Growlithe out when they got attacked. And then we followed the Growlithe up here. And then when we came up here, we found some shit. And then there was a journal and Ford read it. And it said a bunch of places. And one of them's right here. And that seemed convenient. And so we were just going to go ahead and like wrap up finding this guy before your date was over. But then all of a sudden you were here. And then now I'm here and you're here and I want to hear about your date and you won't tell me about your date and now it's the worst day ever. So thanks.
Sorry. We should go to Cinnabar Island at some point.
I don't even like cinnamon buns that much.
Ford pulls out the journal to try and find Cinnabar Island in the journal.
I was just being facetious, Chunks. I like them.
Chat, Marion.
Is Cinnabar Island in the journal?
Let me see. I don't think so.
Given up on the journal entirely. Calynn's on her own adventure. Fuck this shit.
You look through the journal. You don't see anything about Cinnabar Island, but you do see a note that just says sweet treats dash Growlithe. Sweet treats for Growlithe, not dash.
Why do we want to go to Cinnabar Island? It's not listed in the journal.
Fossil resurrection facility? I don't know. Sounds cool. For no reason.
There's like a whole movie about why that's a bad idea.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery.
65.
All right, so we're outside of a cave, right?
You all are like on a path that, yes, outside of the cave. It leads up to the mouth of the cave.
All right, are we going in the cave?
Yeah, we gotta go in the cave. That's probably where Growlithe's owner is, and it'll be super quick and easy just to go grab him and, like, continue on our way.
And you see Growlithe already moving down the path towards the cave.
Calynn will travel with that Growlithe. Seeing Growlithe go there, Calynn's on the way.
Ford, seeing that Calynn is on the way, is now on the way.
Bruh.
Victor like looks at Spoons for like a solid 5 seconds.
Yeah, bruh.
And he's just gonna shake his head and follow the others.
And Spoons will latch on with one of his feet to your hood. Are you guys just... So Growlithe gets 20, 30 feet from the mouth of the cave, and you see her like sniff into the air, and her ear starts to twitch, and she like gets low to the ground and starts to slowly creep towards the edge of the cave. She stays near the rock face of the wall of the mountain, Mount Moon. She heads.
Calynn will follow Growlithe's lead, and like when Growlithe gets low and starts slinking, Calyn's gonna like hunch down and like get close to the cave wall and like kind of like tiptoe behind Growlithe and be like in her own spy mission movie now. This is Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove, basically, at this point.
So Growlithe is creeping low. You're right behind Growlithe. Chonks is tiptoeing behind you. Behind Chonks is the Scyther, and she's kind of just like got both of her blades against the rock face and is like scooting down on the side. You see Pidge land in a nearby tree and just ruffle his feathers, and Pichu like pops her head up for just a second and puts it back down. And you feel the warmth of Liddy's flame inside, like in between your backpack. She's settled down like in between your backpack and your neck. Cubone just like is just walking regular past you all, just looking at you. Bow, bow. What about the rest of the trainers?
Just walking like normal. Yeah. Just all that chaos is going on in front of him, and he's just keeping an eye open, walking forward.
Posy's got her arms kind of crossed, keeps rolling her eyes at Calynn's Pokemon. Rock on now. And every now and then, like, you'll see Aaron, like, Dragon Ball Z speed to different trees, and he's just, Mankey, just punching trees.
Are there trees in the cave?
You are like on the outside of the mountain now, walking towards the mouth of the cave. So yeah, there's still some trees out here.
Okay, we haven't entered yet. I got
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm probably also walking like normal, but maybe I'll like take my phone out of my pocket and then be like, nope, too soon. Chill out. Put it back in my pocket.
So you all keep moving forward and get to like the mouth of the cave, and you hear sounds echoing through. You, Victor and Ford also roll perception checks as you all come up. You're just not being silent. But Calynn, you do hear voices coming from inside this cave. Victor can make out where they're from based on their dialect.
Yeah, you can.
These voices. They're from Kanto.
I thought you were said Canada.
They're from
Canada.
You hear him say, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Don't worry about that. I've been worried." I'm sorry, Alex. I love you.
Rise of Blights.
The most Canadian words.
You hear
Razor blades.
maple syrup. These voices, Victor, you hear them clear as day. As Calynn, you're like listening in, and Ford, you hear him too. You hear the echoes, but you just can't make them out quite as good. Victor, you hear one voice say, "We're stuck here. We could have been part of the Cinnabar mission. Brand new assignment, and we couldn't have got sent to something more interesting." And you hear another voice. "Didn't you hear that wasn't even successful? Besides, we're making easy money here. You didn't get enough excitement from that big battle that just took place? We're lucky no Officer Jenny's questioned us any more than they did. Well, maybe it would have been successful with us there. Maybe. Go ahead and take patrol so we can make the log." "Oh, yes, sir." "Come on, man, don't be like that. I did the last one." No back talk from me, sir. I'll get right to it." You hear the sound of footsteps.
Drop.
Towards?
And then Victor's gonna drop on the ground.
Towards. Yeah, Victor drops and Spoons. Whoa, bruh.
guys, just get down.
We could probably take him.
Okay.
Ford gets down and pats his Pokemon to do the same.
Wait, they're bad guys.
Aaron punches a tree and then drops down beside Posey and Ford.
Is there any... We're still kind of at the mouth of the cave? Or are we...
Yeah. You want a map?
No. So, at the mouth of the cave, can you describe for me what sort of levels of things that we could get to?
Could you describe them in a visual manner? With
No.
some sort of representation that goes on the screen?
Verbal manner would be better for me. I don't see.
So the trail leads up the side of Mount Moon, and then where part of the mountain kind of dips in, there's a small, probably 50-foot, maybe a valley of grass.
How did me and Kaycie become innocent bystanders in this map battle? Like, can we have a map even though
No.
Alex is making a point?
No.
I'll give you guys a map. I'm just going to build up the tension for it first.
Is there anywhere that I can get, like...
Let me describe it. And
I would love to,
find
but you're
out.
fucking not. You're dicking around. You're yelling about maps. You're fucking off. And I just want to goddamn know an answer to a question.
And where the cave dips in a little ways, there's a open valley with grass and two big chunks of rock that set in front of this cave, and the night sky is over you. And for the rest of you, here's the map.
Let me get up on that rock, though.
Ford, how'd you get there that quick?
You're so exposed.
It's kind of like a Hork-Bajir Valley thing happening here.
Yeah, let me get
Not
up on top
again.
of that rock, though.
All right, let's put you guys on the map then.
And the cave entrance that's directly below us is where they're coming out of. Or where we think they're coming out of based on the footsteps that we're hearing.
So, Calynn, when you were sneaking, you got right up to the mouth, like right here, which you can still be right here. That's fine. Like, you can move there. But that's where you all heard them from, is inside this cave mouth.
Hell yeah.
And all you all are fully rested and everything.
That's not ominous at all.
Ford and Victor both roll stealth checks now. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not great.
Victor like turns into PETA with like the rock coverage and the thing, and then Ford just like lays down planking next to Victor.
PETA from the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Nice one,
It'd be
Tim.
really funny if you knew anything about the Hunger Games.
I was like the guy that threw the bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking PETA.
I always get it confused because I think somebody throws bread in Les Mis also.
No, they
I never
steal
know.
bread.
Stole a loaf
Oh, shit.
of bread.
Somebody throws blood.
That's Carrie.
Oh.
No,
PETA?
well, actually, Carrie was on the other end of that throwing blood. It wasn't.
Well, somebody did throw blood. It just wasn't the main character.
Carrie was on the
Travolta,
other
wasn't it?
end of that blood throwing.
I was a victim of blood throwing.
Some people blood let and other people blood give.
Is that your Red Cross slogan?
Yes. Donate today.
You all see a man in a suit emerge from the mouth of this
Well,
cave.
But what about what I told Scyther beforehand?
Well, I don't know what that is. This man comes out and looks up at you, Calynn. But what happened?
Great. I'm just going to roll with this. He looks up, sees Calynn, and Calyn's going to say, Scyther, get him, and then says to Cubone right below her, knock him out. Assuming Scyther's going to come across the mouth of the cave, tackle this guy to the ground, and Cubone's just going to fucking club him.
He says, hey, who are you? And then roll it up. Roll an attack from Scyther, and then club from Cubone or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the Cubone was not the one that I was worried about. Oh, quick attack. That seems like something.
That does seem like something. It seems quick.
It's quick. It's an attack. Quick attack.
All right.
And then we'll do a club.
That's a crit.
Oh no.
We prepared. We have advantage on this.
She fucking killed him.
He is not knocked out, but he's got a big old lump on his head. What does this whole attack look like?
How we crit? What we want to happen?
Yeah, you got it damaged. You got it
Okay.
damaged.
What it looks like is literally this guy walks out of the cave, looks up, goes, "What are you doing there?" And while he's looking up, gets hit from behind by Scyther in a quick attack that takes this dude across the mouth of the cave, flattens him on the ground by Cubone, and Cubone doesn't have to move a muscle because Scyther's just that good. Slams that bone club down on this guy's head.
Does he have a bone club or a wrench?
A wrench.
Wrench, sorry, wrench. My bad.
No, we were painting word pictures. I just wanted to make sure.
No, that's a good call. We shouldn't have a map. It would be less confusing.
He says, "Who the fuck are
Hit him again.
Greg?" Echoes through the cave. First up, since this is a wild battle, it's Scyther.
Scyther is going to just knock this guy out. Scyther's going to try to finish what we started here. Scyther's just going to take one of those blades, and as it's coming down his head, flip it at the last second, and the flat of the blade hits this guy.
15 hits for 21 damage. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this guy's HP is freaking nuts because we've done 66
Yep.
damage.
Oh, but he also has a defense. So
Yeah, minus his defense.
you guys are just tickling him. No. What? Hey. Do you want to describe?
Actually, no, I'm leaving this battle. I'm uncomfortable. No, thank you.
If he was bald.
Is he? I don't know because you haven't fucking described him, Austin. Is he bald?
He's this.
There's a picture of him on the map.
You can't see it.
There's this blonde guy with this blue suit on that comes out. He just looks like a guy in a suit, and he's been bombarded with a metal wrench and a creature with bladed hands, and he's called for help. Next up is Spoons.
I think Spoon's sensing a battle is going to dash on over to the action.
Anything else?
Only just Victor popping up and be like, Spoons, no! But yeah, Spoons is several feet from the action, and he's raring to go.
All right. Chunks.
Can Chonks ready an action for when this guy comes out of the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, ready in action. When they come out of the cave, Chonks is just gonna roll out and smash them. Like bowling down a hallway. When the people start to get to the mouth of the cave, Chonks is gonna try to roll out down that hallway and knock them all down like goofy ass bowling pins.
She stomps one of her feet and like curls and crouches down and just gets ready. Next up is this guy that just walked out of the cave. He like starts to feel around on his like belt loop and then pulls out 2 Pokeballs and throws them in the air. I need help. And then 2 Pokemon come out. You all recognize one. Ford, you see a Kangaskhan erupt from out of one of these. You had a Kagu a while back, and also a Zubat flutters out. And Kangaskhan would have already went, so she's gonna go immediately. Kangaskhan will attack the Scyther. It drops its fist back behind it, and you see it start to glow red. And as it swings, there's like a trail that extends off of this Kangaskhan's hand as it tries to punch the Scyther in the face with a Comet Punch. 13 to hit?
Yeah, 13 hits.
All right, and this has 5 strike. 3 hits. Zubat will go flutter up and then down to the side of this Kangaskhan and see the chunks. And for flavor, it flutters down in front of his face or her face. It curls up its face in front of it and sticks out its tongue and uses mean look. And you see Chunks, like, her face curl up at this, and she just like starts to back off, kind of looking a little bit scared. Chunks becomes trapped and slowed for the remainder of the encounter. Pichu.
So Pichu, seeing this Zubat come down and get in front of Chonks and up into Chonks' face, does not give a shit that Chonks is within range, is gonna try to snipe this thing out of the air. Thunder Shock.
80 will hit. Cubone.
Is this dude, this weirdo suit blonde guy still near Cubone?
He is, and you see his like head he's bleeding and he's like wiping it away. Greg, there's some bandits out here.
Bandits?
They've hit me over the head with a cucumber.
All right, this guy has a concussion. What do you mean bandits? I think Calyn's straight up talking to this guy. Just does not give a shit. Just like, what do you mean bandits? You're the dude wearing a suit in a cave.
Not you, Dad. And he like stumbles a little bit.
I've never been proud of you, son.
And as you say that, Cubone jumps up and he just does like a spin on one foot and then drops to the ground.
Great. He's also flinched, if that helps.
He can't move. He misses. He can only do one action, either a swift or a move. I don't know what fucking flinch does. I'm sorry. Victor.
Victor's going to scramble up off the ground and be like, what happened? What's going on, you guys? This is chaos. And he's going to run. He's going to run after Spoons, I guess. You're going to love this. I'm going to throw out Leaf. Add another fucking Pokemon to the initiative. Listen, just in case we need to tiny buddy up, Austin.
Look at Leaf's picture. It's creepy.
What the fuck is that?
Why is Leaf's picture Moon
Why
Knight?
is it a lich? What the fuck is this?
Also, does Leaf even have String Shot anymore?
Oh, that's a good. Oh no, you're right. It's okay, Victor doesn't know that. Shit.
I've been waiting for this to come up for a while, and I'm sorry, Kaycie. Kaycie has Spoons, Leaf. Oh, never mind. It's only two.
Say
only
more.
Two. No. It's only two.
Come on, say your thing.
Neither one of them have attacks except for teleport and hard.
Yeah, that tracks for Victor. It's fine.
I've gimped Kaycie in this game, so.
Her Pokemon.
Yeah, but Basil's level.
I don't think so. Victor's the cleric.
True.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just really biding our time until Victor has the strongest Pokemon. The whole thing is that, like, once they evolve,
They're strong. Okay, so Meta or Calynn.
Calynn has zero reason to do this, but I think Calynn just wants to jump down from this rock and hop up on this Kangaskhan and use mounted prowess.
You don't make a roll for that, do you, when you initially do it?
No, not on the first one. I just automatically succeed, honestly, for the first one.
Is that right?
No, automatically. Oh wait, yeah. If I automatically succeed on the checks and then a +3 bonus to any to remain mounted.
Okay.
So yeah, I do. I just do it.
You hop on this Kangaskhan back and you go, Con? And she's like reaching over her shoulders and stuff at you. Anything else?
No, / I really want to Ratatouille her.
I don't know if you could do that. I don't think.
There's no rules in the PTU handbook that says you can't Ratatouille a Kangaskhan.
I think they're implied.
Oh, are we going to start reading between the lines for all of our rules henceforth? No.
I guess not.
I want to grab her little ear horn thingies. And I want to Ratatouille this bitch out of here.
Okay, so I'll say it was your action to jump on, so you have to wait
Yeah.
till next turn to
Sure,
try to
that's fine.
Ratatouille.
I just want you to know, Calyn's got her hands on those little ear flappy thingies.
As you like jump on the back of this Kangaskhan and she's trying to fling you around, you feel the patter of little paws on your back as Growlithe runs up the back, and then as it gets to the top, it jumps up in the air and lets Ember go with this Zubat. Such a cool fucking description, and a miss. The Zubat. Oh wait, wanted me to beat. I hit. Fuck you, Zubat. 24 fire damage. All right, Ford.
Okay. My first question is for Austin.
All right.
Is there any identifying marks on this? What did you call it? A Kangaskhan? Is there any identifying marks to make me certain that this is not the same one that I helped earlier?
it looks like, the same kind of Pokemon and everything, but we'll say the one, the Kagu that was with your Kangaskhan, the one that you met, we'll say it had like a birthmark like right underneath its eye. Okay. And this is not it.
Not the same one. Okay. Then that means I'm not going to do what I thought I was going to do. And I'm going to I'm going to move out here with Victor. And I'll make that my whole action.
To me, my Ford.
Yeah. I'm just going to, I'll just head out over here.
Pidge.
Pidge is going to try to sand attack down that cave just to blind anything that's down there.
Hit.
Hey, does a critical hit Austin? Yeah. If one crits, does it do what you want, Austin?
It doesn't do what I want. It does what you want. I'll say you hear within the cave. Wow, my eyes! Aaron up with Posey on deck.
Okay, so Aaron's move is just gonna be to double move up to there. Posey is gonna. What kind of type is a Kangaskhan? This is what I'm going to yell at Calynn. No, I'm sorry. I'm next to Victor. Victor, what kind is that one? And that's going to be my question.
Normal?
Crap.
Which means, nothing's really good or bad against it? Maybe?
Right. Yeah, we'll do a scratch.
What's that scratch? Like, where does Posey scratch the Kangaskhan at?
So, I'm assuming that the Kangaskhan is spinning around in circles wildly because it has a wild Calynn on its back. Mm-hmm. So just as Calynn passes by, it just scratches it like in the back, sort of underneath Calynn.
Nice. Cracker, nah. Cracker, nah. Next up is Leaf, and Aaron couldn't get anybody. Is that right?
Right. It was just double move to get up there.
All right, Leaf.
Okay, so Victor, not knowing much about Metapod, is gonna be like, okay, Leaf, tie up that guy. And then Leaf doesn't do anything because she doesn't have string shot anymore.
You see just a sheen just over her whole body.
That doesn't look like a string shot. What's going on? Why is my Pokemon broken? Okay, well, do an attack. Do something, I guess.
You see the sheen just over its whole body again. You can raise Leaf's defense by 2 stages. And unless you want Leaf to move anywhere.
Can Leaf move anywhere?
I was about to say, she just like wiggle in a direction.
Starts to roll.
Okay, she starts wiggling in the general direction of the unconscious man. Oh boy.
Liddy.
All right, a couple questions to clarify before I say what I'm about to say. So Liddy was in Calynn's, like in between her backpack and her hair. So I didn't move Liddy, but I'm assuming Liddy moved with Calynn when she moved. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Which they're on the back of the Kangaskhan, which I'm assuming is not right here because they can't occupy the same space. Austin?
You're on its back, and Liddy's tiny, so she can occupy the same space as anything.
Right, but Calynn's like a square, kind of a square back. Okay, this is gonna be fine. I think, because would you say Liddy could move to here? Does that seem okay? Or is that too far?
Yeah,
okay.
Does Lizzie, your Liddy, is now the nickname?
Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, why didn't we name her Liddy McGuire?
Listen, Liddy has never disclosed their last name. It could be Liddy McGuire.
You have to go to the name change guy.
I don't think so, because that's a surname.
You can't change that. You're right. What was your question?
Liddy couldn't vote.
Oh, levitate. Does Liddy have levitate?
Yeah, that's probably.
That's also a movement speed.
5. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I was looking for that, but it's in a different spot. I see now what I've done. Okay, so here is exactly what I imagine Liddy doing. We will see how successful it will be eventually. But what I want is that Liddy is just sitting on Calynn's like backpack behind her head, and then like Liddy just kind of creeps around and like kind of like comes out into this battle and just focuses entirely on this Zubat, and then uses Astonish and does that like accomplishes that by just like coming out looking super like ooh, spooky candle, and then like gets like really like and like just kind of does like a little like cranky like I'm experimenting with what I want to do in a battle look, and tries to use Astonish on the Zubat.
Yeah, and you see the flame like flare a little bit as she does this. Yeah, that hits.
It hits, but also if the Zubat was unaware of Liddy before this, it does cause them to flinch. That is you have to tell me though.
Yes, Liddy was known to no one but the people that know Liddy. So yeah, the Zubat was unaware.
Liddy McGuire leads a double life. Sometimes international superstar, sometimes teen going to high school. I think that we need to respect that shit.
I agree.
Wait, is it Liddy Montana?
No, that was a Lizzie McGuire plot in the Lizzie McGuire movie when she went to Greece. Austin, you're gonna have to help me with this. Rome? Where did she do the secret concert where she was living
Rome.
a double? She did it. Yeah, I think it was Rome too, because the fountain. They did it before Hannah Montana. Liddy McGuire is the OG.
I gotta find a Pokemon that rhymes with Montana now.
There's not one.
Austin, give up on that dream.
I'm looking up something. Sorry.
Pokemon that
Is
rhymes
it-
with Montana.
Is it Lizzie McGuire, where she went with Gordo on the school trip? The true love
And
Gordo?
Miranda couldn't be there because she was, what was she doing, at summer camp still or something?
Something like that. Because it was the school summer trip or whatever.
So Zubat can't act for a turn. That's what Flinch does.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I knew that. I was questioning about Lizzie McGuire and the plot of the movie.
At the top of the round, you hear inside the cave, what the and then you hear 2 Pokeballs open. Go out there and see what's going on.
Also blinded. Fuck them.
You can blind from within the Pokeball?
No, the dust is still in the cave.
Oh.
What about Hillary Badoof?
Hillary Badoof's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
That is pretty good.
Lizzie Quagsire. That's just... I'm sorry. This is going to be a long episode because I have a lot of Pokemon out. I'm sorry. These 2 join the fight.
It's like you're gonna put like a limit on how many Pokemon we can have in a battle at once.
I don't think Alex would let me even if I tried.
They could be out. They just don't have to battle.
Oh. So there is that in league battles, but there's supposed to be that in regular battles too. But I like the immersion that it gives when I let you break all the rules. It's okay with me. All right. Top of the round, Scyther. Scyther sees a walking tree waddling towards it and a clump of magnets flying through the air. You know these to be Magneton and Executor. The Pokemon Executor is 3 metal balls with magnets attached to it that all have stuck together. Executor is a tree. Executor.
Wait, hang on. Hang on. Back up. Because I think you just said Executor twice for both of those Pokemon.
They're both
And
Pokemon.
it threw me for a loop. But you said Executor is the 3 magnets stuck together. Executor is the walking tree.
When the executes come together, they become a Magneton. No, there's a Magneton and an Executor that enter the fight.
Scyther, a Scythe Blade Pokemon, sees a goddamn tree walking towards her. That's gonna be a quick attack. That's gonna be, and I just want to, let me roll this real quick. I just want to say that Scyther is trying to make a beautifully trimmed, shaped, ornamental Executor.
Okay. Roll it up.
Done.
What about Swana Montana?
That's good.
Swana Montana is incredible.
I think it's
Damn.
closest you're going to get.
Yeah, I think so. looking at this.
I like it. I like that we changed the pronunciation of Montana as well, so it's Swana Montana.
It's fancier.
Swana Montana.
Hannah Swana.
What? Why did you make it more southern?
That's the only way I know how to do it. 3 hits for 23 damage. Is anybody hurt? Is anybody hurt more off this attack? Does a normal attack hurt a plant or a grass or psychic type?
No.
It doesn't.
It took you a long time to formulate that question.
I'm sorry.
Is anybody hurt?
That was like
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually landed on the question. I think Alex just worked it out.
Thanks, Alex.
What do?
Does anybody hurt? Emotionally?
Everybody hurts.
Everybody cries.
As Scyther swings these blades at the Executor, it trims off some of the leaves on the top of its head and it stumbles back, and you hear the other voice say, "You don't know who you're dealing with." You guys can catch more of me at CZ Drop all over all the socials. And if you like Loud Plays, I run an Animorphs alternate universe TTRPG where a different group of idiot teenagers with the Death Wish gain the power to turn into any animal they can touch and go try to fight evil alien parasites that take over your brain and your life and your mom and your dad. And if you want to find all that, that's Dungeons and Dracon Beams. You can go to linktr.ee/CZ Drop. That's linktree/CZ Drop.
Hi, I'm Kaycie. I do podcasts like Animorphs Anonymous and Hearst Girls. I also draw stuff on Art Corner, which is every third Tuesday of the month on twitch.tv/CZDrop. And I also draw stuff in the form of my webcomic B-Side You, which is a gay romance webcomic that takes place in the early 2000s. That is free to read at bsideyoucomic.com. It's also on Tapas and Webtoons. It is less free to read, but you get early access pages and bonus pages at patreon.com/KCD Studios if you want to help support me making my dreams. If you want to find me everywhere else on the internet, you can go to linktr.ee/KCD Studios. All right, bye.
You can find me at horsegirls.club because I am learning how to become a horse girl. Spoiler, it's not going good. I'm not retaining a lot, but they're trying hard.
You can find me across the internet at Alex and Birds. If you go to linktr.ee/Alex and Birds, you can find a list of many of the things I do. Not all of them, but at least the regular things like Animorphs Anonymous, which we've done all sorts of Apple Grant properties. And if you go to twitch.tv/Animorphs Anonymous, you can find us making people read it for the first time and giving their opinions on it. Notably at this time, a swan named Emily. You never know who else we're going to convince to read it. Also, Horse Girls, horsegirls.club. You can find Tim there too. We're training to be a horse girl. It's going super well. He's retaining a lot. We also do Dungeons and Dracon Beams, which Austin is the GM of. We're idiot teens with a death wish. He said that already, but I'm letting you know we're really, really fucking dumb. Guys, we're real idiots. We keep rolling nat ones. Late starters, that's this one. Welcome, you found it. Congratulations. Also, surprise, we do Surprise Attack Book Club, which drops in a bunch of different feeds, and it's great. When does it drop? We can't tell you that. It's a frickin' surprise. Also, things like Guild of Granddaughters. Check it out.
If you want to help these 3 floundering, older than average trainers on their Pokemon journey, financially speaking, in exchange for goods and services, the form of character journals and stickers and I don't know what else, random shit that we do, you can go to the Late Starters Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/late starters. Come support our floundering trainers as they flounder their way through the Kanto region. Thanks in advance, buddy.
You can start late, but at least you're starting.